So, we really want you to engage with our expert here today, and also, form partnerships and friendships offline as well. So this is a great time for you to connect with others. Let's move on to the next question here. What's the number one thing you look for in an employer, and how can tech companies be more attractive to, better for women engineers?
Yeah, this is like a great question and like a super hard one, because the number one thing I look for in an employer, like quite frankly, is diversity in their engineering department and the proportion of underrepresented groups on their leadership team. I usually look at that as for me, I'm looking to see representation actually at the director level and above, and not in typical roles where women are normally placed. I really want to see women in technical leadership roles, as well as in the C-suite across a variety of disciplines. So clearly, PagerDuty with a woman CEO and a woman POC CEO was incredibly important for me and was one of the driving factors. So that factored heavily in my decision. I also had the opportunity when I was interviewing with PagerDuty to talk to folks across the engineering leadership organization, and they blew me away. I think as for those of you working in tech, you know how important it is to have a strong, supportive, innovation focused engineering leadership to help drive vision forward for the long term, not just short term. I think in my career I have had been a part of very few of those organizations, a lot of weak engineering leadership for sure, and PagerDuty had the opposite of that. The decision was very, very easy for me to make. So say they fulfilled everything that I look for in terms of representation as well as strength of vision. For the second part of that question, how can tech companies be more attractive to or better for women? I think you can be better for women just by hiring more women. And to me, that's period. You hire more people. Being able to walk into an office and see you reflected in that office, particularly in the department on the teams you'll be working with, cannot be undervalued. It's definitely incredibly important for me. I've worked my entire career on all or predominantly male teams until I got to the level where I was actually able to build my own teams. So I completely understand the reality of our industry, and it still disturbs me. But once we're in positions to make a difference in our culture, particularly within engineering, I hired for skill, creativity, diversity and inclusion, and I know that I've built world-class teams that represent all of the things that I wanted to see in a team when I was starting out in my career and didn't see, quite frankly. So I hope that answers it a little bit. And I actually would love to hear from folks who are in engineering in particular right now on how they think their organizations or the industry in general could do better for making our culture more attractive to women as well.
Absolutely. So that was an invitation to our live callers. If you are specifically working as an engineer, or if you have a friend or a mom or a neighbor, your voice is important as well. So please, write in the chat or take yourself off mute. If this was your question and you want Wendy to dive in a little deeper, we do have time to do that, so feel free. I think in the meantime, I'm going to transition to this next question as you all are thinking of the questions you want to ask Wendy as she's prompting you to unmute yourselves. Thank you, Wendy. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you want to dive deeper into this question? What are some ways you are trying to attract and retain women tech talent in your organization in particular?